Guys, what made you realize this girl is definitely not into me? Went to her apartment. Then I helped her with Tinder. We set up a date. She stood me up. When I asked her, she simply said she forgot. I went out to a restaurant bar with 4 buddies. Some ladies sent over a round of drinks to my 4 buddies. Gave a girl at work my number on a piece of paper and she handed it right back and said we talk at work all the time, so let's keep doing that. Unless the girl directly says to me I am into you, or some variation, I will assume, by default, that they are not into me. Back in college, I took a girl on a lunch date. We had a really nice time. When it was getting time to leave, I told her I had to get to work. She said, "Where do you work?" I said McDonald's, and I literally could see her attitude shift in 1 second. Oh, cool. So as I'm driving her home, I said, "So can we hang out again?" She replies, "Yeah, totally." So the next day I text and ask if she wants to hang. She never responded. Asked a girl if she wanted to grab lunch together sometime. She said she was busy that day, which was interesting as I never specified a day. My roommate encouraged me to ask this girl out. He said she really liked me, so I asked her out and set a dinner date. I pick her up and at dinner, she barely responds to me. I ask questions about her major, her family, etc, and all I get back are short answers and no follow up. I'm frustrated and she's unhappy, and I guess we both look miserable when the waitress tells us that we need to perk up and be happy. She then asks how long we've been dating. Her face falls when I tell her this is the first date. She goes oh, and walks away and doesn't really talk to us again. After dinner, we were supposed to go to a friend's house who was having a party, but I look at her in the car and say, "Look, obviously neither one of us had a good time. Instead of going to the party, why don't I take you back to your dorm?" She said yeah, and that was it. I went back to my roommate furious and asked him why he thought she had a crush on me. He said he thought she would once she got to know me. Yeah, well she didn't. Edit. Wow. Didn't expect this kind of reaction. To answer a few questions. 1. Why did she even go on the date? I have no idea. 2. Motives of my roommate. I had a pretty bad breakup a few years before and I believe he was trying to help me out. When I came home and confronted him on it, he said what I posted above, making me realize he hadn't even talked to her. 3. This, unfortunately, did happen. I can laugh at it now, but I was furious back then. This happened around 1991 or 1992. Edit 2. The waitress really did put her foot in her mouth, but it was good for me to hear that yes, this is a horrible date and it's obvious to other people too. Time to cut your losers and go home. Oh snap. So, last fall I went to class and ran into this really cute girl and I thought, hey, I'm gonna try to talk to her more, and over the next 2 weeks I found 0 openings until we were told to get into groups for a project. Small class. But I wasn't in her group, so I asked her if it was cool if I joined her group because they seemed more serious than my other group. Bunch of losers. She said yes. So it was me, her best friend, and another girl I'd talked to for a bit. We agreed to meet up on Friday at the library. We talked a bit more before then and became friends. She's really touchy, so she'd grab my arm, lean on me etc. I thought she was into me. I show up early and she was there alone, so we began to talk, and she's so much like me. Has a weird sense of humor, very smart, and super friendly. She even liked Dragon Ball. That's the dream. Also, her favorite Spider-Man movies were the originals and not the Holland ones. Then the other 2 girls arrive and I see her phone and her lock screen is of her best friend. The other girl comments AWW. Your best friend's your lock screen? And she says nope. My girlfriend's my lock screen. So that really made me realize she totally wasn't interested in me at all. Funny thing is, we all are still really good friends. We've tried to take classes together and she's helped me out when I had trouble. I accidentally ruined her surprise birthday party. We hung out while we could. She'd buy us lunch, invite us to her place, and we really have a good time together. Those 3 girls are the best friends I've made in university. It's kinda sad, but before I went like 6 months without anyone in college saying my name or even talking to me. They weren't mean, they were just not my friends. But I met these girls and I have a friend network. I have a constant study group and she's even helping me lose weight because I couldn't do it on my own. She wasn't into me, but I honestly couldn't care less. I'm way happier now than I was before I met her. Edit. Holy duck. I went to sleep and this blew up. When she used to give everyone hugs but only ever offered me a high five. She really only talked to me when she needed something. Stopped texting first and realized that she never texted me for 3 days. It was totally one-sided. Asked her to senior prom. She said yes, but when we got there she ditched me to hang out with another guy she liked. Wasn't too bad though, cause I danced with another girl who I got along better with. I told them I had feelings for them. They responded with, "I'm dying." When you go in for a hug and she gives you the side hug. I've heard them all. I like you as a friend. I think we should see other people. I know speak English. I'm married to the sea. I don't wanna kill you but I will. She gave me a thin paper wristband she has made which said the wristband of friendship. Edit. Holy this blew up. Thank you for the kind words, F's, and awards, but please, don't spend your precious money on me. You guys made my day anyways. At a bar with some friends, my boy John starts trying to chat up this girl and her friends. I approach and try to wingman. This girl makes hard eye contact and says, "Well, it was great meeting you guys." Capital I, of course. Say likewise and drag off John to go explain to his dumbers how to recognize when girls are politely telling you to duck off. When she asked me if I knew if my friend was interested in anybody, I was only just starting to maybe have a crush on her, so it didn't hurt. But like, definitely wasn't pleasant lol. I asked her out. She said you. When I expressed interest and she recorded in horror and told me I was embarrassing her. I don't remember how we ended up talking, but I ended up asking her out to dinner and she said yes. We went, ordered our food and ate. The entire time she was on her phone, so I just paid my bill and left. 10 or 15 minutes after I left she started blowing up my phone, not to ask where I was, but to demand why I didn't pay for her food. I just responded by blocking her. Edit. Everyone calm the duck down, Jesus Christ. Don't give me awards. They don't do anything. Instead please give the money to a charity. That way it'll actually help something. She said I'm not ready to be in a relationship, and proceeds to get into a relationship. RIP me. I hope she's happy though. I really do. When every conversation is abruptly ended by lol. Edit. Been very busy lately, but I'm happy that you all liked this comment so much and could relate to it. The award is extremely appreciated. We flirted for several weeks, hung out every day. I kept feeling a closer and closer connection, but due to circumstances I could not control, we were never alone enough together for me to test it. Had some friends plan a camping trip and I invited her and she said yes. I even specifically told her there's gonna be 2 couples there, so we're gonna be in a tent, just the 2 of us. She said yeah, she knows. Get to the trip. We have a few drinks and I ask her if she wants to take a walk with me to look at stars. I get it. It's corny. Shut up. Once we're a little away from everyone I tell her how much I like her and attempt to go in for a kiss. Nope. Sorry Chips Conquiso. I'm not what you're looking for, shattered me. Utterly gutted. I once went on a date with this girl. Bought her dinner. Went downstairs to the bar nightclub for a drink afterwards. She ran into some girlfriends and just went over to their table. Sat down and started chatting and drinking. I sat alone for about 20 minutes. And just left without saying anything. Never heard from her again. Closed responses to leading or intuitive chatter. For example, just saying yes, no, not really, etc. when asked questions that could easily lead to more conversation. I asked for her number and she offered to give me her email address instead. The teacher assigned my crush to dance with me. She screamed no and chose another guy. Edit. I'll give more context. So this was our graduation trip, and it's the last day of it. It was compulsory that everyone chose a partner of the opposite sex to dance with. Me having a crush on her was quite well known in my class, so all of them, including my teacher, suggested that I dance with her, and of course she refused and chose another random dude. I had to find another girl from another class that I never even talked to. Feels so bad, man. She pulled out a knife and tried to kill me. When I accidentally let a fart slip as we got out of the car to her crib and then suddenly had to sleep in the guest room. Edit. Thank you all for making this my most upvoted comment since I joined Reddit. Edit 2. A little backstory. We met at work. We had a good vibe. We constantly flirted and even spoke about sexual aspects of our life from time to time. We decided to link up after work twice. We had great sex twice. We then fell off because she lost the job we worked together. She ended up in a relationship. Fast forward 6 months and they broke up. I shot my shot. We planned to see Avengers Endgame and then I was going to spend the night like before. As I pulled into her apartment complex, some mini dog ran out in front of my car. I swerved to avoid hitting it and burst 2 tires on the curb. I couldn't get replacements until after work the next day. I couldn't leave my guest room confinement if I wanted to and trust I wanted to. LMAO. I called a Uber to get to work in the morning. We smoked a blunt after shift while my tires got changed and we haven't spoke since. She likes pics on IG everyone and then but that's it. Damn, she had some good lovin'. Comic Sunset smile. I didn't realize until I asked her out. We had been talking and hanging out for a few months. She and I had matching personalities and we were both more energetic around each other than around others. I had a massive crush and I felt like taking a chance, so I told her I liked her. And she said, damn, I'm really sorry. I feel we're better off as friends. I guess I didn't realize she wasn't into me until she said as such. I moped for a while before finally being able to have a it happens attitude towards it. Nowadays she's happily with someone. Our friendship has faded away, which is actually more upsetting than being rejected romantically. I'm still single, but I'm happily single, so it's alright. If I ever feel that feeling again, I will always take that risk. Sunset. It's been 7 years since then and I haven't felt that feeling yet. Edit. Reading all the replies. I still have a lot to learn and digest. I appreciate everyone's input. Asked a girl out and she said I can't, it's my girlfriend's and I 2-month anniversary. She is straight BTW. Caught her making out with my manager. A close friend of several years, who I had a bit of a crush on, had been single for a while, as had I. One day, she called me on the phone out of the blue and said, I'm so horny, want to drive up and wheel duck like bunnies? Exclamation point. Why? Yes. Now that you mention it, yes I do. But she lived a 5-hour drive away, and I had to work. So, I worked, then hopped into the car the next morning, drove up for a visit. We hugged, went straight to her bed, but I was getting less than a sense of full enthusiasm. Still, she seemed game. Then, as we just began to start, a few kisses, hand under the shirt, she started crying. Now, here's a little hint to all you guys out there: if she starts to cry, she's not happy. So, naturally, I put the brakes on and say, hey, what's going on? And she's not into it. Yes, she's lonely. Desperately lonely. But I'm a friend, not a potential lover. She likes me, but she's not into me that way. But, here's the thing. She's still game to go through with it, because I drove 5 hours. After all, no chance. She's not into it. Then I'm not into it. We hugged, went out for dinner, had a great time. I slept on her couch for the next few days of the visit. Curiously, that same visit, she hooked me up with a friend of hers, who I dated happily for 6 months until the 5-hour commute wore it down. TLDR, she started crying. Guys, when she's crying, it's time to call it. So I was on one of the nightly FaceTime calls with this girl I was super into. Then at around 4 in the morning, she says that she is getting a call from someone and needed to answer. The next morning I see her Snapchat story of her on FaceTime with another guy. The next night I call her and she says she is already on call with someone and it turns out to be the same guy. We lost touch and I am pretty sure those two got together. Edit. I showed this post to her and said thanks for the karma. She found it funny and she said that at that time she was into me but she just lost feelings and met another guy. We had a good laugh about it, LMAO. Also, I am in a relationship at the moment. We both moved on but she moved on a lot quicker. After chatting for about a month, I asked her out for the second time. Wanna meet up and hang out somewhere? Yeah. I'd like to meet. Cool. So are you free this day on this week? No. How about another day next week? No. So maybe the week after? Or after that? No. Can't. Okay. So when can we meet? Let me check and get back to you. 10 months. 4 days and 5 hours since then and I still haven't heard from her. I just assume by default that people do not like me. When they are nice and warm to me, I assume that's out of their courtesy. Oh man, so many points. 1. Didn't attend my graduation even though mine and hers was like 2 hours difference. I attended hers and her sister's graduation and got them flowers. I waited for her for 4 hours just so that I could hand a bouquet of flower to her since before her sister's graduation. She told me she has never received flowers before, so I got it for her. She told me that night that it was an unforgettable memory. 2. I posted an Insta story saying that it's my birthday and she didn't even bother to wish me. I attended her birthday party and wished her a happy birthday every year since I've known her. 3. She sets up a date. I got all excited and on the day itself, I reminded her in the morning saying I'm looking forward to the date. She replied with "Oh no, it's today? I totally forgot about it. NGL. It totally broke my heart." 4. Kept on calling me baby and just generally stringing me along. Only time she would initiate a text is if she needs help. I was in love with her for the past 4 years. Finally cut off all communications and face-to-face meetings. Never felt better in years. Sorry for the long rant. Edit. Wow, 300 upvotes. You guys are ducking awesome, you beautiful human beings. Never would have thought ranting about me being a dumbus would get me so far, haha. Edit number 2. Seriously? 1.3k upvotes? Never imagined my most upvoted comment is about me getting crushed, haha. Thanks for all the support and comments. Each and every one of you are amazing. Don't ever forget that. She kept talking about how she needed more commitment from me. Relationship had turned long distance. I was paying for the travel and doing the majority of the traveling. I was the one that had moved away. Sustained it for about a year. But I just realized that she wasn't into me enough to take what she perceived as a risk in moving 5 hours drive away from her family. Never spoke about her needing to show commitment to me. Think what finally did it was when she got a raise to similar to what I was making and I brought up her starting to contribute to the travel costs. And she laughed like it was a joke. I clarified I was serious and she brushed it off. Nope, I'm out. Stuck around longer than I should have. Was her first serious relationship. Which in retrospect I think was a big factor in some of the immaturity. Also, I have to tell this because it's hilarious and I know for a fact it's true. A girl I know was dating a guy who turned out to be married. The wife found out but stayed with the husband. So the guy gets in a car accident and the side chick girl calls to see if he's okay. The dude tells her he has amnesia and doesn't remember her and he's with his wife now. Homeboy done said he got amnesia to get rid of the side chick. She started talking about how she was interested in another guy. Pretty clear and harmful way.